So this is our Vald force frame device. And what makes this device unique is that there are numerous parts of this that we can move or rotate that allow us to put this in any position possible to measure really any muscle movement that we would like. Also, the force pads themselves can be moved. So currently the position they're in, if you take out the key like this, we can move it farther in. We can move it farther out. We can also move it 90 degrees into a flat position. And each of these positions are marked with a letter on the metal bar. When your subject is seated, note their feet position and the corresponding symbol on the force frame mat. You will utilize that symbol in the force frame app. So in this video, we're going to walk through how to use the Vald force frame. And so we have our iPad here. We're going to open our force frame app. And as this app opens, we're also going to turn on our force frame device. And as we come back to our force frame app, we're going to go to Start Testing. We're going to go to Device. And what should appear is our force frame device. And so we're going to click on that. And once we have that connected via Bluetooth, we now can set up our subject. So typically what we want to do is set up the information for the subject first. So in order to do that, we're going to go back to our main menu. We're going to go to Settings. And then we're going to go to Profiles. And we're going to create a new profile. Now, if we're testing someone we've already done, well, then we'll just use an existing profile. But we're going to create a new one. And here we have the options of entering individual's name, first name, last name, date of birth, gender, height in centimeters, weight in kilograms. That's the important information. There is other information in regards to their sports, if they're in a specific test group that we are looking at. And you would just enter this information, hit Save Profile, and that subject would now be in our database. So once we do that, I'm not going to do that in this video, but once we do that, we're going to go back to our Start Testing link, make sure our device is connected. And now we're going to go to our profile. So I'm going to use one of our subjects, Matthew Mitchell here, who we've already entered in our profile. So we're going to click on that subject. And it now gives us a number of options of different muscle movements we can measure. Ankle dorsiflexion all the way through shoulder, internal, external rotation. So let's say for this lab, we want to do, or for this test, we want to do hip abduction or adduction, which is hip add and ab. So we're going to click on that. And once we do that, it's now going to give us numerous options of how we want to do this. We might want to do it with the hips of the knee at a 90-degree angle. We might want to do it with the knees at a 45-degree angle. Maybe we want to do it standing with the force pad at the ankles. Maybe we want to do it seated or supine at the knee. So all of these are very specific locations, seating setups or standing setups to do this test. And so before you'll do one of these tests, you really have to know the protocol that you're using. We're not going to go through that in this video, but if you go to the Vald website, they have numerous protocols for each one of these to walk you through exactly how you're going to do that. So we're actually just going to do a hip add abs seated. We're going to pick that. That's our test option. And we're going to go to our arrow. And it's now going to ask us on the screen here what our position in the device is. In other words, what height are we using? What's the bar rotation? What's the paddle position? What's the foot position? When you have the bar height set, note the number of the bar height right there, so you can put it in the force frame application. When you have the bar rotation set, note the number of the rotation on the red disc. This is a hard number to read, so you will need to look closely. When you have the force frame paddles set, note the letter that each of their pads have the key in. In this case, it is on the letter S. So once we have this set up, we're going to hit save. For this test, our subject will be doing hip abduction. We will go to the Force Frame app. We will hit start. We will then instruct our subject to abduct for 3 seconds. Go. And then relax. We'll do it one more time. And go. Relax. And after we were done with our test, we will hit finish. Now with the testing completed, we can see that we have our force curves. We have our values in newtons for our left and right leg. And we also are provided a symmetry score, or the percent difference between left and right. Now for this exercise, we only did abduction. If we had done adduction as well, those values would be in this graph. Once we are done with our data, we can hit upload, and that will put all the data saved in our cloud.